Man, thanks for having us on the show, man. We're excited. I'm excited to be back on here. It was a blast last time. Like you said, though, I had to one up and bring somebody special in so we can talk about her journey, her career, and we can actually follow it in real time, like I was able to follow y'all's careers and lives in real time. So I'm excited about that, man.
I just got to start here, Aaliyah. I got so many questions for you, but I got to start here because you were born a prodigy. Let's just put that out there. You come from good basketball. I ain't gonna, I'm underestimating. You come from great basketball genes on both sides. I mean,
Yeah.
your mom was a demon, a killer. Your
Yeah.
dad, you know who your dad is. I ain't even gotta say who your dad is. And for you to walk in there, my first question for you is, and of course, AJ, now we got so many. What has it been for you, uh, being the heir apparent to your moms and pop?
It's been a great journey, honestly, and I've been doing nothing but just embracing it. Just embracing the fact that I have just two legendary parents, just even not just for other people, but for me too. Like they're my idols, and so um just learning about them and what they did in their careers and learning the journeys that they took to get to a certain point in their careers, not just in basketball but in life too. I've just been doing nothing but embracing it, studying it, and just doing the best I can to do the same for myself and have that same type of legendary career.
And AJ, for you,
Mhm.
you watching this, when did you see it? Or did you always see it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I saw it early, man. When she was probably like 5 or 6 years old, I saw it, and it was always in the back of my mind because as you guys know, as parents, you don't want to force anything on your kid, but you want to introduce them to as much as you can so they can make a
Hmm.
decision as far as which road they want to go. And as soon as we put that basketball in her hand, and it was just you saw the natural ability. That's when I knew like genes could be these genes could be passed down through sports too, because we hadn't taught anything, we hadn't talked about anything, and she just took off with the basketball running. And I'm like, man, kids don't do that at that age, at the age of 5 and 6. Go shoot
Hmm.
a right hand layup and just handle it with on a string. So from that point, I kept a watchful eye, and then when she got up to about seventh grade, we had a conversation about, okay, is this what you really want to do? But me and her mom both, we kept her in the gym. Her mom was kind of still playing professionally, and I think it was Italy at the time, Italy and Russia at the time, and I think Aaliyah. All you have is basketball when you play overseas, so I think Aaliyah kind of gravitated towards that, and that was the beginning of her development. So give her mom all the credit for the beginning development of her just putting the ball in her hands, keeping it in her hands. But and then being able to be international. People don't know about Aaliyah. Aaliyah was born in Peoria, but she's a port. She has a Brazilian passport as well. So speaks fluent Portuguese, and maybe you can force her to speak some Portuguese before we get out of here. But she hate when I do that, but we know
Oh my god.
Yeah,
how valuable that
yeah.
is. Like I'll be trying to get like this is valuable, and I want you to keep using that, and don't feel shame about it or not. When somebody asks you, do it. So, but back to that, man. I mean, I knew it from a young age that she had it in her, and it's just all about finding the process and following it from then on.
Well, we ain't gonna wait that long. Aaliyah, give us some of that Portuguese. Say, I love this game in Portuguese. I mean, we need to hear it.
All right. I'm gonna say I love this game of basketball. Eu amo o jogo de basquete.
Mm. Now you gotta slow that down for the slow people, like they get on the back of the bus.
Right.
Slow that down. Get that to me one more time.
All right. Eu amo esse jogo de basquete.
Mm.
Yeah, that's fluent there.
Can't get no
That's
slower than that.
yeah, that's fluent there.
Yeah,
That's fluent there.
Hey AJ,
yeah.
for our listeners, let our listeners know, how did you meet Aaliyah's mom,
Okay. Mhm.
and who is Aaliyah's mom, and
Okay.
why is that part of her gene
Mhm.
is superb as well?
Oh, absolutely. I met Aaliyah's mother's name is Adriana Moises Pinto. Her Brazilian, she's known in Brazil as Adrianinha, and that's her nickname. I don't know what it means, but I just remember people calling her that all the time. And I met her in Italy when I was playing in Italy. She was playing in a team called Faenza, and I was playing in a
Mm,
team called Bologna. And when we met, and we, obviously we had Aaliyah, and we were together for a while. We're not together now, but we have a great relationship still because
mm-hmm.
of Aaliyah and the sacrifices that need to be made to get to Aaliyah to this point. But her mother was a special player, man. She was tough. She could really shoot the ball. She was a leader, one of those natural leaders, like you guys were on the court. And she led Faenza to a. She started her pro career at like 13. She left her
What?
home in Brazil. Back then it was like that money was everything to Brazilian families. So at about
Uh-huh.
13 or 14, she left Brazil and went to start playing professionally and ended up in Italy for a long period of time. And that's where our paths ended up crossing. And so her mother played a Brazilian national team, I think 5 times. I think she was
Five
on.
Olympics.
She played in 5 Olympics.
Wow.
So she's been a
Wow.
part of 5 Olympic teams, and I mean, she has success internationally. She has success with her national team. She played 2 seasons with the Phoenix Mercury in
Mm.
the WNBA. I think she had a stint with Diana Taurasi, and I don't think Cappy was there yet. The group of right before Cappy Pondexter was there. But was able to get down there and watch her play there, and then she ended up playing a few more years professionally, and now she ended up moving to the United States. We could have had her on the podcast. I wasn't even thinking. She even moving to the United States. She lives in Iowa with her
Mm.
family, and so it took
Wow.
a long process. But I always commend Adriana because it's hard for women to part with their children because at the
Yes.
time, her Adriana was living in Brazil, and what's the name of the city in Brazil?
Uh,
Her husband's from
Recife.
Recife, Brazil. It's like I think it's on the northwestern tip of Brazil. Beautiful
Yeah,
beach city, but they were living there at the time, and Aaliyah was getting to that age where it was time to stop the inconsistency with the schools. Aaliyah's been in European schools. She's been in Brazilian schools. She's been so around that
Wow.
time, around 8 or 9, it was time to be consistent. And her mother
Mm.
always she saw the vision because it was a vision she had to want to play college basketball, but she actually
Mm.
passed up an opportunity, I believe, to play at Oklahoma. And when she was coming out of high school, but she didn't understand. She was going for the money. She went for the money. So what she
Right.
had to do for her family, but she always talks about how in the past, if she had to do it over again, she probably would have went ahead and went to college. And so it was that time for Aaliyah. So she made the tough decision to allow Aaliyah to come to the States and stay with me because she knows it's a better opportunity for her, especially once we realized that she had an opportunity to be really special in basketball. So none of this would have happened without that decision because
Yeah.
you guys know in custody battles and you get the arguing and fighting. We
Yeah.
never really had that when it came to Aaliyah, and she understood. Not only she understood that, she also did what it takes to get over here and support her last 2 years or a year of basketball. So and it's a long process to get citizenship to come to the United States, and she did that to be a part of Aaliyah's final 2 years of school. So that's the process doesn't start without that big decision being made back when Aaliyah was 9 or 10 years old.
First of
Well,
all, we
man,
cannot underestimate
it's
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
It sounds like she sacrificed a lot, man. We got to give it up for moms, man. We got to
Absolutely.
give it up for moms,
Shout
man.
out to
Yes, yes.
moms. Shout out to
She
moms.
sacrificed. It sounds like she
You,
sacrificed a lot, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt.
what's interesting about that, hearing that say that, AJ, I just remember too, uh, a lot of people don't recognize this, but my mom made a very similar sacrifice. I keep telling
Mhm.
people I hadn't lived in my mother's house since I was 14. So parents see the vision
Mhm.
before we can see it. We
Hmm.
just don't see it because but Ali, I know you're grateful for what your mom has did because we see the proof in it. Uh, but I know it's been a little tough for you. Tell us how you have dealt with not being around mom and pursuing your dream?
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like the older I got, those were kind of the times where I created the most memories for myself.
Mm,
And so that was kind of tough just because I wasn't around my mom and I wasn't able to create as many memories from 7th grade year and after. And so just really trying to, be on the phone, FaceTime and just keep some type of relationship with her. Um that was just the goal, and it still is the goal, like still just visiting. I'm supposed to be going there this weekend, but just going up there to visit, spend some time with her, and even my two little sisters. Their side, they're still trying to build a relationship with their older sister. They're trying to look up to their older sister, so I'm just trying my best to be there for them as well. But overall, just the mother and daughter bond, that was really tough for us to try to build from a distance. But
right.
I mean, me going to Iowa is definitely a blessing because I'll be closer, and so it'll
Yeah.
definitely be beneficial for our relationship. But it definitely just trying to overcome that type of adversity and having that close bond with your mother. And yeah.
Well, I can tell you this. I can hear it in your heart. I know you miss mom, but I'm so grateful that your mom and your dad, they make that decision, because if not, we don't get this Aaliyah that we got right now.
Yeah.
And on top of that, um, and I don't want to be dismissive of this too, but you got a stepmom. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
how has that been for you, and how did that help shape and mold you as well?
Hmm. I mean, just the having that female connection is has definitely been helpful coming from my stepmom. Um, there's a lot of certain things that daughters talk to with their mothers about, and
Mm-hmm.
so she's been there for me. My stepmother Alicia, she's been there for me when it comes to that. Me asking questions and developing, becoming a young woman. So that's definitely been helpful. I mean, not that I wouldn't talk to it about my mom either, but just her being able to show me things, being able to teach me things, face to face, being able to have conversations has definitely been helpful.